Imagine opening up your phone's app store to casually download a new game or a social media app, but suddenly the screen completely freezes up and a prompt pops up asking you to literally scan your physical driver's license or upload a picture of your passport before you can do anything else. I know, it sounds totally unhinged, but honestly, the crazy part is this isn't some fake future scenario. Like, it's actually happening right now as we speak. So in Texas, this massive new law called the Texas App Store Accountability Act just went into effect last week on June 4th, and essentially turns the App Store on your phone into a strict digital bouncer. And the backstory behind this, how this actually passes, genuinely like wild. Like, this law was initially blocked by a federal judge back in December of last year because it basically completely violates the First Amendment. Like, a no-brainer. It was supposed to be dead in the water, but then in a crazy plot twist, a higher court just swooped in at the last second, granted an emergency bypass, and just immediately unpaused the law, forcing it into effect on the exact same day, while the legal battle still rages on in the background. So overnight, massive companies like Apple and Google were suddenly forced to start verifying the age of every single person trying to download anything. Like, we aren't talking about the old days where you could just like fake your birthday on some random drop down menu and you're just good. Nah, this new law means that they have to use real world methods to verify who exactly you are, like making you take a live selfie or actually scanning a physical government photo ID. And once they have that, the system puts you into a specific category, labeling you as a kid, a young teen, an older teen, or like an adult. And if the system decides you're under 18, well, you literally need your parents' digital consent to download absolutely anything, even completely free, harmless apps. So as you can probably guess, forcing tech companies to hoard a massive pile of highly sensitive ID photos is a total privacy nightmare. And privacy advocates are justifiably like crashing out about it, while the courts continue to fight if this is legal in the first place. Now, if you're sitting there watching this and just thinking you're completely safe just because you don't live in Texas, well, you might want to hold on for a second and take a look at the bigger picture here, because this exact trend is spreading like absolute wildfire across the rest of the country and even the world. Like, lawmakers in a bunch of other states are intensely watching what Texas just did, and they are eagerly rolling out their own copycat laws that do the exact same thing to your digital devices. For example, Utah just had this huge, highly restrictive age verification law officially kick in last month around May of this year, forcing similar digital checkpoints on its residents. And right next door, well, there's Louisiana, and it's getting ready to drop their own incredibly strict version of this in just a few weeks, aiming for a rollout in July. All these different states are basically running the exact same game of claiming to protecting the kids online, and they're demanding that app marketplaces figure out the definitive, undeniable age of the person holding the phone. Like, what this realistically means on the back end for the people who actually make these apps is a total nightmare. Developers suddenly have to scramble to assign formal age ratings to every single piece of software that they make. Like, Apple and Google are honestly incredibly reluctant to go along with this, because creating a massive highly secure ID checkpoint system from scratch is insanely expensive, obviously, and a massive legal liability. But they really do not have a choice right now. Like, they are already quietly testing out brand new tools to verify age just to dodge getting hit with thousands of dollars in fines for every single minor violation that they might potentially rack up. But let's just zoom out for a second, because this is not just exclusive to the United States itself. It is quite literally a global movement that is fundamentally changing how the internet works for everyone. So over in the UK, they recently passed this massive, highly controversial set of rules known as the Online Safety Act. You might have heard about it, and the real world consequences of it have been pretty wild to see actually unfold in real time. Because of the sweeping act, internet services and social platforms are legally required to put strict, undeniable age checks in place. And if they refuse to play ball, well, they can be hit with fines up to £18 million, or just 10% of their entire global revenue, which is an astronomical amount of money that would bankrupt smaller companies. People living in the UK are already actively dealing with this daily fallout, finding that popular platforms are completely blocking access to certain content unless they scan their face or provide a valid credit card to definitively prove that they are an adult. Meanwhile, places all around the entire world like Brazil, international Australia and Singapore are also cracking down incredibly hard on digital marketplaces. Apple actually came out recently and literally confirmed that users in these specific nations will be completely blocked from downloading any app that carries an adult rating unless they go through a mandatory, rigorous confirmation process, which usually involves getting a passport or an official ID card. Like the old internet days of simply checking a box that says you're over 18, well, they are definitely vanishing, and it's kind of cooked. So how exactly are these massive trillion-dollar tech companies that build our phones responding to the sudden global demand to see our driver's license? Well, as you can probably guess, they're desperately trying to build clever tech workarounds that keep them out of legal trouble without totally alienating the entire user base. Like Apple, for example, has been updating iOS to let users directly scan a driver's license or a passport straight into their secure digital wallet. The system is supposedly designed to keep a sensitive image for just a brief fleeting moment to confirm your age before permanently deleting it from existence. They're also heavily pushing this new feature where parents can quietly pre-approve their kids' age bracket behind the scenes, without showing a physical ID every single time a new game is downloaded. Google is sitting in the exact same incredibly awkward boat, quietly rolling out new back-end tools to help developers seamlessly check if a younger user actually has the necessary parental approval to be engaging with their app. The honest truth is these big tech giants really do not want the massive financial burden or the terrifying security risk of hoarding millions of selfies and highly sensitive government documents. Like, they are absolutely terrified of a catastrophic data breach, obviously, so they are heavily pushing alternative ideas. But right now, we are firmly stuck in the middle of a messy, high-stakes tug of war between lawmakers who are demanding like strict, uncompromising enforcement and tech companies who are just desperately trying to protect their bottom line and their users' trust. At the end of the day, when you step back and look at the whole big picture, what we are currently witnessing is a massive, highly permanent shift in the fundamental relationships we all have with our favorite technology. Like the entire concept of an open, easily accessible app store where you can literally just click a button and download a damn app is rapidly being walled off behind a series of mandatory, highly secure checkpoints, starting in places like Texas and the UK, but very quickly expanding out to cover the rest of the global map. But the absolute craziest part about all of this is that a lot of casual, everyday users just assume that this entire situation will eventually blow over, or that the courts will just magically strike down all these controversial laws. But the undeniable reality is that the actual backend systems needed to scan all this stuff, categorize your specific age, and potentially lock you out of your favorite apps. Well, they're already being actively built and sometimes actually deployed as we speak. So yeah, this is this video. Drop a comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time.